2025, here we are. What was that? It has been a minute since I recorded a video, so forgive me if I don't know how to do this anymore. But 2025, the year of our Lord and Savior, is upon us, aka Black Ops 2. And to anyone who played that game, remember when we thought that game was in the future? And now it's the present? Feel old yet? But welcome to my yearly New Year's video where I talk about my goals for the future and I talk about the year that has gone by, and trust me, this year has been a lot, but surprisingly a lot of it was very good, which is more than I can say for the 2 years prior. But first off, of course, we need to talk about the channel because oh my god, this is the best year I've ever had on YouTube. To put it into perspective, at the start of this year I decided to make the switch from gaming videos to commentary videos. I've been getting so many loving comments and people saying that they enjoyed the videos and that the videos made their day, and it just makes my heart full. Man, it makes me so happy. But I just want you guys to know that that genuinely means the world to me. I know it might not seem like much to you guys who are leaving the comments, but like from someone who is making these videos and putting hours of effort into these videos, worrying how people are going to perceive the video or if people are going to enjoy it, trust me, it truly means a lot when somebody just comments saying this was a good video. That literally all that is like just makes my day. And to anyone with a keen eye, this is not a bruise on my face. I didn't get punched or anything along those lines. I had a vicious battle with a pimple last night and it seems like I've lost because now it's all swollen, it hurts like a bitch, and like when I blink, I can feel it. It's disgusting. But yeah, also on top of you guys enjoying the videos a lot more, I am also getting a lot more enjoyment and satisfaction from making those videos as well. And because it's a whole different type of style and I have multiple different styles of videos that I do now, and they're so different from the gaming type of videos I used to do, I've been able to learn new skills, learn how to make those different style of videos as more entertaining as I possibly can. And it's just like a playground, honestly. Now, this is something that blew my fucking mind when I first seen it. But while I was making my last video, I decided to hop on and check what the yearly analytics were like for this year, because I knew a lot of my biggest videos that I've ever made were in this year, but I didn't realize just how many views it accumulated to by the end of the year. In the last 365 days, so I think that kind of takes January into account as well a little bit, I guess. In the entire year, we have 56.4k views, 2.8k hours watched, and we have gained 381 subscribers this year. That's fucking mental. I just thought I would do something fun and quirky, which was to look at my entire lifetime analytics of my channel, excluding 2024. Prepare yourself, boys, prepare yourself. 59.2k views, lifetime views. So we basically doubled the amount of lifetime views on my channel in this single year. 1.6k watch hours, gentlemen. From 2013 to 2024, I had 1.6k watch hours. We have doubled that this year. And then subscribers plus 567. We really weren't that far off in a single year. That is bonkers, man. I know I don't want to, fucking stay on the analytics too long. I just can't get over it. It's fucking crazy to me. Like, it is so fucking good to see that. It's so good to see a channel that I was really worried about for so many years because it just didn't pick up. Even the videos that I thought should have done really fucking well, they just didn't do well at all. And I was constantly stressing about it, blah, 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 and I was worried about it, and then boom. In this single year, when I do something so scary as to change my entire approach to content, we get better analytics than the rest of my lifetime on this channel. Like, is that not crazy? Like, I just wanted to gush over that. That's all. That's literally it. I just wanted to, show how crazy this year has been, analytics wise at least. But with all of this information we have gathered here today, 2024 was single-handedly the best year I have had on this channel, all across the board. And I tried to, look at things logically at the start of last year, because obviously the channel wasn't doing too hot at that point, and there was no signs of growth within 4 years of me taking it serious, and I came to the conclusion that I have nothing else in this world that I know I would like to do other than making YouTube videos. Because YouTube, although it does require a lot of hard work and a lot of like consistency and blah blah blah, there is a huge level of luck that comes into it as well. So I started thinking very seriously about my career trajectory at this point, and I was just having a constant tug of war in my head whether to, you know, start looking for other jobs that I like, you know, might be interested in like long term as a career, or like try find something else that I could have as a backup just in case, you know. But then I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna give myself to the end of 2024, and if I hit 1k subs by the end of 2024, that will be my answer, and I will focus on saving up a lot of money for the next few months, and hopefully, if things work out, leave my job, live off of that money for a little bit, and do YouTube full time just to see where I can take it. And if I didn't reach that goal, I was going to leave my job and like try experiment with other jobs and different career paths that I've never even attempted in, to see if I can find anything that I enjoy just as much, if not more. But I am happy to say that I'm not going anywhere, folks. Although we are only at 950 subscribers, I think the analytics for this year are proof enough that if I put even more effort into this channel, it could become something, and I can entertain people. I feel like that's what I've been put on this earth to do. It's just the only thing I've ever wanted to do. It's very weird. I have no idea how I forgot to mention this, but I also passed my driving test, and that is one of the big things that happened this year personally for me. I probably forgot to mention it because I passed this 6 months ago and I still have not set foot into a car since, but it is what it is. Big boy maneuvers, ladies and gentlemen. So what are my goals for 2024? Right, we are going to get into a little bit of a deep topic here, but I'm not going to dwell too much on it. I've talked about it before. But at the start of 2023, I started taking my ADHD medication, and that really fucking helped me in my life. I was able to get shit done. I could jump from making videos to working out without having to take an hour break in between. It was a whole thing. It was great, and it felt like I was growing as a person. And then tragedy struck, and my mother ended up passing away, and a few other things happened down the line. I'm not going to get into it too much because I have, as I said, already spoken about it. And that kind of threw a spanner in the works because I was growing as a person. I was, you know, feeling good about myself, and I felt confident in my ability to do things. And as soon as that shit happened, it just kind of like threw all of that out the window for a little bit. And of course, dealing with the loss of a loved one, especially a mother, is not an easy feat at all. I'm sure some of you guys out there know the feeling. And like, especially for me, I haven't dealt with death all too much. Like, a few members of my family that I really cared about here and there have died, but it's never been in such short time frames, you know. Like, in the span of 4 months, I lost my grandmother and my mother, and a few months before that I ended up losing my dog of 13 years, which, you know, some might say is not as bad, but like, she was a member of the family. I went through breakups and fucking loss of like lifelong friends and shit like that. Just a lot of like unfortunate things happened in 2022 and 2023, and on top of the grief, I do sort of have like a sort of PTSD type of thing from it. Like, I don't know if I could even call it PTSD. It's just like, I'll just explain it. It's the best way. Like, on the day that my ma passed away, unfortunately, I was trying to sleep the night before, and I was really struggling, and I was up until like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I needed to be up the next day at like 7:30, and yeah, it was a stressful little sleep time, I must say. But then when I finally did end up going to sleep, I had like 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and I was woken up in a panic to my father screaming up to me saying that my mum isn't waking up. Within seconds of being awake, I had to rush downstairs and look at my mother's lifeless corpse in the bed, while the instructor on the other end of the phone was telling me to give her CPR. And I was reluctant at first because my mum had a lot of medical problems over the years, and one of them was that she had brittle bone syndrome. Like, my mother would break her leg by standing up too quickly and stuff. Like, it wasn't like a small case. And of course, I did what the instructor told me to do, and I gave her CPR, but unfortunately, the entire time I was doing it, I felt each of her ribs breaking over and over and over again while I was doing it. And ever since that day, like, sometimes when I'm trying to sleep, or like even just randomly when I'm in the shop doing stuff, I guess it's like kind of like a flashback, like a sensory flashback. Like I can feel the bones cracking under my hands again, and like I just get all of the emotions that were going through me at that point. Like I guess in the moment I didn't really have too many emotions because I was in shock. Big emotions come up when those like sensory feelings come back, and it's just nasty. And then on top of that, it's left me with like overarching feeling of like something terrible is going to happen constantly. I'm constantly worried that someone else that I love and care about is going to die. Like it's always on my mind. It's a pain in the fucking ass, and it's so bad. Sometimes I wake up abruptly in the middle of the night to like kind of go down and check and make sure that my dad's okay, because you know I don't want it to happen again. And like it definitely, like at first I was like trying to be the big man and be strong and all that stuff, and like say that oh, it didn't really leave me with too much problems, but it definitely has. And when these feelings come to the surface and I'm dealing with these like fucking anxiety attack fucking episodes, you could call it, and having these little flashbacks, it's like my fight or flight kicks in, and the only thing that my body wants to do is lie down in bed and do nothing, because it's afraid, I guess. I'm afraid to deal with this shit. But like it's been 1.5 years now since she passed, and like I do get them every once in a while, but like it's nothing near what it used to be. But the overarching feeling of like something terrible is going to happen is still there, and I'm just constantly worrying. So the goals for next year is to work on that. I'm trying to, you know, get out of the house a bit more, not be so much of a hermit. When I get back from work, I'm just gonna try not to, you know, go lie in bed and just watch a show all day and stuff. Like it's there's a lot to work on, there's a lot to work towards, and it's going to take a long time to fix these problems. But as I always said, if you are ever fully content with the way you are, you're not living correctly, because you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be craving growth. You're supposed to have another like pedestal to, or another mountain to try climb up. If you don't, you're living wrong. You know, I had my 1.5 years of feeling sorry for myself, and 1.5 years of, you know, taking a little bit of slack because of the shit that happened to me. But now it's time to tighten that fucking rope and step the fuck up. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, man. No more sadness, no more anxiety, just fun, games, and a good time. I'm not gonna set any like number milestone, like don't get me wrong, I would love to start getting paid by the end of next year, be that by sponsorships or ad revenue and stuff like that. That would be fantastic. Even if it was like, you know, fucking 10-20 quid a video, I'd be fucking ecstatic about that. And the ultimate goal is to just make the best content I can for you lot. I want to try step up my content game. I want to try, you know, come up with a few more different creative ideas and a few different things that I want to do here and there, and just grow as a person and a content creator. That is my only goal for this year. And to be fair, I want to get out a bit more as well. But yeah, folks, that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you've had a great Christmas, and I hope you've had a great New Year. I know I sure did. Well, New Year's not so much. I was sick as a dog, so I had to stay in bed all day, but fuck me. But Christmas time was great. I got to spend Christmas with my brother and my dad as per usual, and like my sister-in-law and my niece. But yeah, if you've watched this far, thank you for listening to me ramble like a madman a little bit. And again, thank you everyone for such a good year, and for, you know, giving me hope again. You know, in this line of work, it's very hard to ignore the numbers sometimes, and like sometimes the numbers don't give you very good emotions. But just seeing the growth of the channel in one singular year, especially a year that I put so much fucking like stress onto being good, is just so motivating. And yeah, thank you all so much. I don't want to loop around and talk about that again, but yeah, thank you all. These are a bunch of legends. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Make sure to subscribe and click on the video at the end, because YouTube thinks that is the one you'll like the most. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it's been Exo, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one, folks.